The rain fell softly on the day I bid my father farewell. The air in the lawyer's office was heavy with the scent of old leather-bound books and the hushed whispers of my father's attorneys. It was there, in that dimly lit room, that I discovered the grand secret my father had guarded so closely. A secret that would alter the course of my life forever. The lawyer, a stoic man in his late 50s, cleared his throat before delivering the news. Mary, your father's last will and testament reveal something extraordinary. He left you the mansion on 45th Street, valued at $200 million. My eyes widened in disbelief as I scanned the documents laid out before me. The mansion, hidden behind centuries-old trees and guarded by iron gates, was a sprawling testament to my father's wealth. It was his masterpiece, a symbol of his love for architecture and history. As I absorbed the reality of my newfound inheritance, my father's longtime friend and confidant, Mr. Harrison, placed a comforting hand on my shoulder. Your father spoke of this mansion with utmost reverence. He wanted you to know the richness of your heritage, Mary. Lost in thought, I ventured to visit the mansion that evening. The rain had subsided, leaving behind glistening streets under the glow of city lights. The mansion loomed in the distance, a majestic silhouette against the night sky. Inside, the air was filled with the scent of aged wood and nostalgia. My father's presence lingered in every room, in every carefully chosen piece of furniture. Tom, the caretaker of my father had employed for years, greeted me with a gentle smile. Miss Mary, your father was a visionary. This mansion holds not just bricks and mortar, but the soul of his dreams, Tom said, his voice echoing through the grand hall. I wandered through the rooms, each filled with memories of family gatherings and laughter. In the library, where my father spent countless hours immersed in literature, I found a handwritten note. It read, "To my dearest Mary, may this home be a sanctuary for your dreams as it was for mine." The weight of the inheritance settled upon me, a mixture of privilege and responsibility. The mansion, a silent witness to my father's ambitions, now stood as a testament to a legacy I was tasked with preserving. As I closed the door that night, the mansion seemed to exhale, its secrets echoing in the corridors, beckoning me to uncover the chapters of my family's history. The corridors of my high school echoed with whispers, and the weight of false rumors hung heavy in the air. The once comforting halls now seemed like a labyrinth of judgment and assumptions. As I walked through, the students' hushed conversations ceased abruptly, replaced by covert glances and speculative gazes. The rumors about my family's wealth, though baseless, had taken root, painting a portrait of opulence that was far from our reality. My friends became distant, hesitant to invite me to their gatherings, believing I lived a life of luxury they couldn't fathom. One day, as I sat alone in the cafeteria, a girl named Jenny approached me cautiously. "Hey, Mary, can I ask you something?" She hesitated, her eyes betraying a mix of curiosity and apprehension. "Sure, Jenny." "What's on your mind?" I replied, trying to maintain a friendly tone despite the isolation I felt. "Well, people say your family is, super rich. Is that true?" Jenny asked, her words laden with an uncomfortable curiosity. I sighed, realizing that the rumors had reached even the most unexpected corners. "No, Jenny. We're not as rich as people think. My parents taught me the value of money, and we live a pretty normal life." Jenny's expression shifted, a mix of surprise and disbelief. "But your house, it's massive, and you always have the latest gadgets. How can you say you're not rich?" I leaned in, lowering my voice. "The house has been in the family for generations, and as for the gadgets, I save up for them. My parents taught me the importance of earning what I want." As weeks passed, the whispers grew louder. Karen, a girl I had recently befriended, confronted me one afternoon. Mary, people are saying you took money from them and didn't pay it back. Is that true? I was taken aback, shocked at the audacity of such claims. No, Karen, that's not true. I have never borrowed money from anyone. Those rumors are just false. Karen eyed me suspiciously, her voice dripping with accusation. Well, Catherine told everyone that you owed her money for a broken game console. She said you're avoiding paying her back. I felt a surge of frustration, realizing that the innocent act of declining a loan had turned into a twisted narrative. Karen, I never borrowed money, and I certainly don't owe anyone for a broken console. I'm sorry if Catherine misunderstood, but I can't lend money I don't have. As Karen left, muttering something under her breath, the weight of the rumors bore down on me. My parents' teachings about money and responsibility had become a double-edged sword, a shield against financial recklessness, but a vulnerability to the judgments of those who couldn't comprehend our reality. The hallways that were once filled with camaraderie now echoed with the isolation of misunderstood whispers. Marriage with Axel was a whirlwind of emotions, a union forged in the promise of shared dreams and mutual support. Little did I know that beneath the surface of love, an obsession was silently brewing, waiting to surface. One evening, as we strolled through the city lights, Axel's eyes fixated on the towering structures, his voice tinged with an unusual intensity. Mary, have you ever thought about what it would be like to live in a place like that mansion of yours? The one your father left you? I chuckled nervously, the weight of his words lingering in the air. Well, Axel, it's a family home with a lot of memories. I never really thought about it that way. As time passed, Axel's fascination with the mansion evolved into an unsettling obsession. Late at night, I found him poring over blueprints and legal documents related to the property. Mary, do you realize the potential of that mansion? We could live like royalty. Imagine the parties we could host, the life we could lead, Axel would say, his eyes gleaming with an almost manic fervor. One evening, as we sat in the dimly lit living room, Axel broached the subject with a hint of urgency. Mary, we should consider moving to the mansion. It's a shame to let such a grand place go to waste. We could make it our own, start a new chapter in our lives. I felt a knot tighten in my stomach, the weight of responsibility and reverence for my father's legacy conflicting with Axel's relentless desire for opulence. Axel, it's not that simple. The mansion isn't just a property. It's a piece of our family's history. I can't just treat it as an extravagant backdrop for our lives. His eyes darkened with frustration. Mary, you're being too sentimental. We could have everything we ever dreamed of if we just make use of what's rightfully yours. As the weeks passed, Axel's obsession escalated. Late one night, he confronted me with a disturbing revelation. Mary, I've taken care of the paperwork. I changed the ownership of the mansion. It's ours now. Shock and disbelief gripped me as Axel revealed the extent of his actions. Axel, you can't just do that. The mansion belongs to my family. It's not ours to claim. What have you done? He smirked, his confidence unwavering. I did what needed to be done. Now we can finally live the life we deserve. The threat of divorce hung in the air, a specter of the irreparable divide that Axel's obsession had created. As I packed my belongings, leaving behind the home we once shared, I couldn't fathom how a love that once seemed unbreakable had succumbed to the allure of material wealth. The mansion, once a symbol of familial love, now stood as a battleground for the unraveling of our union. The legal battle that unfolded after Axel's illicit actions sent shockwaves through my life. My father's dream, the grand mansion, had become a battleground for justice, greed, and the quest to uphold my family's legacy. As the court proceedings commenced, Axel's misguided actions were laid bare for all to see. The once serene halls of the mansion echoed with the pounding gavel, each strike reverberating through the ancestral walls. In the courtroom, Axel sat with an air of misplaced confidence, his attorney offering a weak defense against the tide of evidence. My lawyer, Mr. Simmons, a seasoned advocate with a no-nonsense demeanor, approached me with a reassuring nod. "Mary, we have a solid case. The documents Axel produced are forged, and we have witnesses who can testify to his deception. The mansion rightfully belongs to you." As the trial progressed, Axel's facade crumbled under the weight of truth. During a cross-examination, Mr. Simmons cornered him, forcing Axel to admit the extent of his actions. "So, Mr. Axel, you thought changing the ownership of a multi-million-dollar property without consent was a prudent decision." Axel stammered, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. I thought it was for the best. Mary and I deserved a better life." The judge, a stern figure with a keen sense of justice, cast a disapproving gaze upon Axel. "Mr. Axel, your actions are not only illegal but reprehensible. You will face the consequences of attempting to exploit the inheritance of another. The court finds in favor of Miss Mary." As the gavel struck one final time, the weight on my shoulders began to lift. The mansion was rightfully mine, and Axel would face the repercussions of his misguided pursuits. Outside the courtroom, Axel, now stripped of his illusions, approached me with a desperate plea. "Mary, I didn't mean for it to go this far. Can't we start over? Forget about the mansion and just be together again." I looked at him, the lines of exhaustion etched on my face. "Axel, our paths have diverged too far. Trust was broken, and the consequences must be faced." The legal victory, however, marked only the beginning of my journey to rebuild. The mansion, once a symbol of my family's history, now needed a new purpose. I enlisted the help of a reputable architect, Miss Bennett, to breathe life into my father's dream. "Miss Mary, your father's vision was extraordinary. We can transform this mansion into a thriving rental villa, a place for people to create cherished memories," Miss Bennett suggested, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. And so the process of turning the mansion into a rental villa began, a testament to resilience, justice, and the unwavering strength to rebuild from the ashes of a legal maelstrom. With the legal battles behind me, I embarked on a journey of personal growth and redemption. The mansion, now transformed into a rental villa, stood as a testament to resilience and the capacity to shape one's own destiny. As the villa started to thrive, guests from various places came to stay, creating heartwarming memories within its walls. The spacious gardens and the grandeur of the mansion became a popular choice for vacations, weddings, and family reunions. My mother and I, now running the villa together, found a renewed bond in sharing the responsibilities of managing the property. One sunny morning, as I strolled through the villa's gardens, a group of guests caught my attention. A young couple, hand in hand, smiled at each other against the backdrop of blooming flowers. Approaching them, I couldn't help but ask, "How are you finding your stay?" The woman beamed. "It's absolutely magical. This place is like a fairy tale. Thank you for creating such a wonderful haven." The man chimed in, "And the history behind this mansion adds an extra layer of charm. We'll cherish these memories forever." Their words resonated deeply, affirming that the transformation of the mansion into a rental villa had not only breathed new life into the historic structure, but had also created a space for people to forge their own unforgettable experiences. One evening, as I sat in the villa's library, reflecting on the tumultuous journey, my mother joined me. "Mary, your father would be so proud of what we've accomplished. Turning his dream into reality, creating a place for joy and celebration." I nodded, a mixture of pride and sorrow welling up within me. "I miss him every day, but I feel his presence here. The villa is a tribute to his legacy. Life had moved on, and so had Axel. Word reached me that he had faced the consequences of his actions and was on a journey of his own redemption. Curiosity and a desire for closure led me to meet him at a local cafe. Axel, looking humbled by life's lessons, spoke earnestly. "Mary, I've changed. I'm working on rebuilding myself. I realize the mistakes I made, and I'm genuinely sorry." I studied his eyes, searching for sincerity. "Axel, redemption is a journey that each must navigate alone. I hope you find the peace you're seeking." As time passed, the villa's success allowed for improvements and additional amenities. A swimming pool, a cozy outdoor seating area, and even a small playground for children were added. The once reverberating legal battles had given way to the laughter and joy of those who now found solace within the villa's embrace. The villa's reputation continued to grow, and its success became my own proof of resilience. I had learned harsh lessons about trust and money, but more importantly, I had discovered the strength within me to shape my own future. And so, as the villa flourished and Axel found his own path to redemption, life unfolded in ways I could not have predicted. The villa became a symbol of growth, redemption, and the ability to emerge from the shadows of the past into the warmth of a brighter, self-forged future.